back. So something new today, and not just new to the channel, but new to the world a little bit, which is SpaceCorp 2025 to 2300 digital version. It's a board game from GMT Games designed by John Butterfield, fabulous designer. And it just came out about a week ago as I'm recording this. And I've played a few games of this I played a few games of this just to get used to the mechanics and the rules. So far, the computer is beating me pretty reliably, but I think that's more of a comment on the fact that I don't know what I'm doing more than anything else. But we're going to play through a game here today, and you get a chance to see how the game works. Of course, I should say, there's plenty of multiplayer options, so you don't have to play against the computer. You can play against human opponents, and just the digital edition will save you table space and save you having to remember all the rules because it'll enforce those for you, obviously. So we are going to be playing. The base game is all that's available so far as far as I know. So that's not available yet. So we're going to be playing the base game. I'm going to play with 4 players. We're going to start in I think it's the Mariners era. So far I've been playing on medium AI, which has been plenty hard. And there's some replacement cards that came out with the expansion, but that are for the base game, and they recommend that you play with them. So we're going to play with them. All right, welcome to the space race. August 2025, SpaceCorp has announced plans for giant ring-shaped space stations, more than 50 times the size of the ISS, allowing it to more easily colonize the moon, explore nearby comets and asteroids, and conduct science experiments in zero-G to further its plans for genetic engineering. Allied Transit and Polaris, among other corporations, have vowed to compete for the moon and Mars and gain favor of their respective nations. But SpaceCorp has its eyes far beyond Mars and far beyond the rings of Saturn. It plans to reach the stars and lead an evolved humanity to a new age. So it starts in Mariners, which goes from 2025 to 2069. Humanity takes the first steps toward deep space travel, exploring nearby asteroids and setting up bases on the surface of the moon and Mars. So the map, the computer's going here. I'll just let it kind of go. But you can see the map here is kind of goes a little hard to see here because it's jumping around, but it's, got the Earth and the moon here, goes out to some asteroid belts in the second region, then gets out to Mars and I think one other, like Halley's Comet over here on the top. So I'm going last here in turn order. So once it's my turn, we'll start talking about what happens. Okay. So let's just talk about a few things here. So I've got here on Earth, I've got 2 ships. Didn't click on one there. I've got 2 ships. Still didn't click on one. Anyway, you can kind of see them there. And I use those to move to various areas of the map. And then I can explore. And you would need to explore if you've got a planet with a box that has like an E on it. So you can see the moon has one, Sisyphus has one. A lot of Mars has those. Those give you discoveries, which can alter the value of a base that you place in that region or on that planet. So to move to places, it costs 1 to take off from the planet that you're on, 1 to land on whatever space you're going to, and then it costs, you have to pay the cost in these diamonds to cross these region boundaries. So it would cost 1 to cross this region boundary and 3 to cross that region boundary. Your move has to start or end at a base. It can be your base or another player's base. If it's another player's base, you have to give them a card, I think is what you have to do. But the other thing is that some planets have gravity, so it actually costs 2 more to take off from Earth than normal. So it costs 3 to take off from Earth. So to move to the moon, for example, costs 4 movement points. You have to take off from the Earth, which is 3, and then you have to land on the moon, which is 4. To get out here to the solar Lagrange point, it would cost 5 because you have to also cross that boundary right there. Now, in terms of overall objective, you're basically trying to get the most money. This zero T symbol up here, that's how much money you have. It's trillions of monetary units. What that monetary unit is, you can make your own. And you get money in one of two main ways. The first way is if you place a base on a site. A lot of bases have a money value associated with them. They'll have like a T value associated with them. And if you use a produce action, you can get that amount of money. The other way is by fulfilling these contracts. So you can get this money. So if you're the first person who does a produce action, you'll get 2T. If you have 3 Lagrange bases, and these Lagrange bases are out here, so if you put a base in 3 of these areas here, you would get that bonus, and so on. First base on Mars is worth 3T as an example. The last thing I'll mention right now for this that's really important for this era is these cards down here are called infrastructure cards, and they add that value to every action you take or every turn you take. So every turn I have like research 2 that I can spend. You can see that right here. And every turn I have move 1 that I can add to other cards that I play. Or just use it to move 1, although moving 1 doesn't actually get me anywhere at this point. Okay, so what to do? So the thing is all 3 of them have occupied these nearby bases, which is a little bit of a problem because they would have a chance to put bases in those areas before I could get it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot for Mars as this is going to be the target I'm going to shoot for is the first base on Mars. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting out here first. Now, you get more cards. You can use research to pull cards from here. So research 2 means I can pull 2 cards from here. So one of the things I want to do is I want to pull some good cards from here. But there aren't really any attractive cards here. So there's nothing with like high values or cards that can be used as infrastructure. So what I'm going to do on my first turn is I'm going to play these 2 move cards. And I'm going to use these move values, so that gives me 3. But the problem is, you can see 3. I can't move anywhere with a 3, so that doesn't really get me anywhere. So what I'm going to do is there's also these time cards, and these time cards allow you to do one of 2 things. You can either double the values that you've got for something, so this would mean that I would have 3 times 2 move to spend, or you can use it to take 2 actions, so I could move each of my 2 ships 3 spaces. So in this case, I'm going to actually use it to move 6. So then I'm going to click here. It's going to allow me to move 6, which will allow me to get out. I could either get out to Halley's Comet. It's going a long way, but I could get all the way out to Halley's Comet, or I could get out to these Lagrange things. But I think I'm going to jump way out to Halley's Comet just because it has this E1 tile. And I could get here, but I'm going to jump way out to Halley's Comet and get this so I can put a base on Halley's Comet, essentially. So I'm going to move out there. Now I have no cards left. That's the end of my turn. So next turn, I'll draw a card, but I'll also probably be doing research, and I'll be hoping that a few good cards turn up here, right? I'm hoping that some of these guys cycle through some of these cards, and you can see they're all doing a lot of research actions too. So we're sort of like cycling through a few of these cards. Okay, so we didn't get a ton of great cards, and that's not a particularly great card in and of itself. So there is one target to get 2 genetic points, and genetic points are used to get these enhancements. And so I think I might actually shoot for that at this point. Maybe we'll see if I can get there. I think I need to, I probably can't get there during this era, but I can. It costs 3 to move around this wheel. So I'm going to research, and I'm going to pull this card because that'll give me a chance I could pull a bunch of cards because I've got that research too, so I could have research 4. And then we're going to pull. Actually, you know what? I'm going to undo that. Sorry. Because what I'm going to do, just because these move one, explore ones aren't really that attractive. So I'm going to pull this, and I'm also going to get this produce one, build two, because it'll make it easier for me to build later on, or I can use it to produce if I've got a good factory. So we'll let the computer do what it's going to do. So you can see this guy put a research base down there on Lagrange point 4, and now he's moved even further out. So he's definitely sort of got a little bit of a jump start on us at this point. He's actually, yeah, yellow is looking like it could be in good shape here. So this is purple playing now, so I would expect him to maybe put a base down there, but he's not. He's going to actually move another guy. He's moving all the way to Mars, to North Mars. Interesting. And then green, let's see what green is going to end up doing. Okay, green just pulled some cards. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of these cards here. So this is may upgrade as infra card. So if I do this, I can put this build card into my infrastructure, and then I would get +1 on build every time. And then this card here has a special benefit. I can play this, which would give me a discovery tile on an empty site, and I can gain those rewards. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to research again. And I'm going to grab this card. I'm probably going to use it. Actually, I'm going to use it for the move 2 at some point. And then I'm going to grab this card, which I can use for infrastructure. Now, there's no limit to your hand size in the game, but you can only do research actions when you have 7 cards or less. I think it's 7 or less. It might be 6. It might be less than 7. But so at a certain point, you have too many cards in your hand and you're not able to do research anymore. Now, okay, so this is interesting. So I have 6 cards in my hand, so I can do research. And I'm gonna do research because this card is attractive. It gives me +3 to my move, and I can upgrade that as infra. And this card is also really good because it's really flexible in terms of moving and building. So I'm gonna grab 2 cards. I'm gonna grab that card. I'm gonna grab that card. And then hopefully next turn I'll actually start taking some other actions other than my initial move and grabbing more cards. Definitely probably be placing some infrastructure cards to start with. All right, well, they got a contract there. They got the infrastructure contract. All right, so I'm going to play this. So I'm going to use this to upgrade my infra. So I'm going to place it here. So now I get like a +4 on any move, which is going to make it a lot easier for me to get out to other areas. That's a really valuable card, I feel like, to carry into the next era, because having more move, the maps get bigger, and so having more moves really helps in the next area. So he did astrometer. So he's got 3 bases, I guess. He's got 3 Lagrange bases. Yeah. So he did that one. So they continue to grab cards. All right. So I could grab cards still. I have 7, so I could grab them, but there isn't anything super exciting there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore. So you can see this E1. That means that it's going to cost 1 point to explore. So I'm going to spend this card, and I'm going to explore, Halley's Comet. So I'm going to pull a random discovery tile. So this one has exotic elements. So it's got P1, so I think I get 1 T for that. We can check that when I get back, just for discovering it. And then it's got a P1, which is the production value. So when I put a base here, I will be able to get 1 T if I produce at that base. Yeah, and you can see I got 1 T just for the discovery itself. So the next turn I'm going to want to build, probably, Hopefully I'll have enough to build. Although I still want to be on the lookout for like when there's like really good cards over here. There's one that's like, I think it's like explore one, build one that I'd really love to get. Yeah, you can see it right here in his hand down here. If that card turns up, I'll probably do research instead in order to grab that card. Oh, we're out of cards. Oh, wow. Boy, oh boy. I feel like the computer players have really outstripped me in this game, so I'm going to be hard pressed, I think, to get much done. All right, I think I need to build here, but I can't. The problem with building, this is very interesting. The problem that I will have with building is that I won't be able to produce because I would have to spend this. And then I wouldn't be able to produce because I wouldn't have a card that allows me to produce. So that is a very challenging situation right now. Well, that is a possibility if I could get enough movement points. Let me see how many movement points I have. So I can move 6. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Undo. I wanted to grab this ship. Oh, I can't. I can't move that guy. Okay. It can only move from and to a base. That's what I was I was thinking maybe I could move this guy over to here because that will cost 1 less to build, but actually it costs 5 to build, so it's not actually going to help me. So I'm not got a great set of options here, and with the deck completely used up. So let me think about this. How far can this guy get? 8. So he can't get anywhere particularly useful. This is unfortunate. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go after some genetics. Let's just start racking up some genetics points because that'll give me a little bit of a head start next turn. Actually, let's undo that. Let's let's play. I'm going to play this as infrastructure. Let's just get it on the board. It's the best thing I got. It's the only infrastructure card I have left. So we'll get it on the board. So I am not going to end this turn with much money. So I'm going to be behind coming out of this turn. That is, I think, for certain. And I'll probably only have 1 base. So he's going to build there. He got the Martian Explorer contract. So now I have build 1, but the problem is I need 4 to build here, and there's just nothing I can do. So I'm gonna be a little bit careful here, but let's well, let's actually play this for the special action. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna move again. Actually, let's just get this base built. Let's just get this base built. So I can build a base here on Halley's Comet. And I can build an industrial base, which when performing future build action in the same region, your build value is doubled. But I'm not going to be building here because this is the last base I'm going to build in this era. A refinery, the discovery tile has a P. It's increased by 1, so that would be P2. That would be great if I could produce there. And then research, I can take 1 card from offers, but there are no cards in offers. So even though it's not a great option, the refinery is probably my best option. So we're going to build that refinery there. So the main thing I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to hope that I'll turn up something interesting with that special action, and then I'm going to be playing I'm going to be playing genetics to try to get a head start on some advancements in future eras. And hopefully I've got a chance to play all of those cards. So let's go ahead and play this special action now. So I can choose either Sisyphus, Phobos, or Deimos. And I think I'm going to choose, don't want to put it anywhere that somebody else could take advantage of it. Doesn't really, I think any place I place it is going to be a little bit, but this is probably the best bet because it'd be the hardest to take advantage of. So it did give me 1T. So, I mean, that's at least a little bit helpful. All right, so the last two cards this turn I will play, if I get the chance, I'll play them for in order to get genetics, and we'll see kind of, hopefully that'll help me as I go into next turn. So I'm going to play that for genetics 1. So you can see now that cube has moved 1 down this wheel. I need to get it all the way to the top, and then I can grab something. All right. And then I'm pretty sure you can see the purple up there is how many cards people have left. So I'm pretty sure once someone has 0 cards, you get into a situation where it's like, you know, everybody gets 1 more move, and then the era ends. So oops, we're gonna play this again for genetics. I got the Mutant Emergence contract, so I did get 2T for that. That's right. There was one for like first player with 2 genetic points, so at least I got that. So not too far behind, actually, as it turns out, depending on what people do with their last turns here. So we will end the turn. Everybody's pretty much, this is going to end here quickly because nobody has really much left to do. Nobody has that many cards left. It's the final turn of the era, but move 4. I can move 4. I don't think I can get anywhere, though. I don't want to move there because that would cost me something because he's got a base there. I'm just going to end my turn because moving doesn't really help me at all. All right. So this is the scoring in the Mariners era. So you can see I actually ended in 2nd place. Not too bad, especially considering it was a bit. I felt like it was a bit challenging. So now we move on to the next era, and you choose a legacy production base. It's not very hard for me because I only have 1, but if I had more than 1, and then choose Planeteers reward. Interesting. Apparently I get this. Reward. Oh, sorry. Esperon claimed this reward. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a couple of places past Mars, and those are called, that's like 1st and 2nd beyond eras. And so it's just like going a little bit beyond the area of the map. And you get a bonus as you go into the next era, which is the Planeteers era. So, okay. So now we're into the Planeteers era. 2070 to 2149, humanity conquers the outer solar system, undergoes further evolution, and learns to harness advanced technologies. All right, so I'm still going last. Kind of sucks, but I guess I'm going 2nd now. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of key concepts here. The first one is we will start to see, these are the contracts. So 2 progress cards, 3 asteroid bases. You can kind of see all of those. I'll think about what I want to do later. Probably the key additional concept here that you can see that the move distances are a lot greater. There's a lot more explore tiles and things like that. And whatnot. The key concept here is radiation. So if you are moving in these areas, you can have a radiation. And I think I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it'll come up when we try to do it. But if you're trying to move between these areas and you don't do it from a shield base, which is a specific kind of base, what you end up with is you have to pay T to pay these radiation costs. So we'll see how that plays out. So the first thing that I notice here is, and you can see these have this has this thing called shielded build. If you use a thing that's called shielded, if any one of your cards has that, then you don't have to worry about the radiation costs. So the first thing that I see here is I have this really nice Explore 2 Build 3 infra card. which I think would help me a lot because it would just give me more things going on. So I'm going to grab that before anyone else does. And then I'm also going to grab this. It's always good, I think, to have some produce cards in your hand when they come up so that you have the ability to produce at your bases when you have a chance. Okay. So that is my turn. Now I have, I don't know if you noticed, but I think I have a move. I have a pretty high move card. We'll come back and look at what they're doing in a second. Oh, it won't let me click on that. Never mind. So there you see they're starting to move out a little bit. So we're up next. Yeah, there's a move 4 card that can be played as infrastructure. And I've got one of those, and that will help a lot. So I'm actually going to play that right now as infrastructure. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, this is a really attractive card here because I can upgrade that as infra too. And I could play this and get an advancement. Yeah, we're going to do research again just to grab these cards. I want these 2 cards. So we're going to do research. And after this, we'll start actually exploring the galaxy. But I'm trying to get some good cards in my hand here. This is a pretty attractive card too. Move 3 and a shielded move 2. That's actually pretty attractive as well. Move 4, explore 2. Geez, there's just a lot of good cards in supply right now. That move 4, explore 2 would be excellent. I gotta do it. And plus there's a time card. All right. After this, I won't be able to do any more research. So, and I think this may be a place where I'm bad at the game. I'm so acquisitive when there's good cards. I'm like, grab them, grab them, grab them. And I think sometimes maybe I'm a little too inactive, which is one of the reasons why I lose the game. I will say, one of the things that I really love about this game is it's like a 3x game. So it's like a 4x game, but without the exterminate part, without the exterminate X. And I know like when I'm playing 4x games, I like the building aspect. I like building my own infrastructure and empire. I'm less fond of coming into conflict with other sort of civilizations and whatnot. And so this allows you to do that because you don't really come into conflict with other people. You are, often, competing for things, but you don't like fight. You don't have to worry about fighting. All right, so now I'm going to upgrade my infrastructure a couple of times. So I'm going to use this card to replace this card. And then one of the things it's going to do, I'm going to have a lot of move ability after this, and I've got a time card. So I'm going to use the time card actually to move 2. So I'll be able to move both of my spaceships at that point. And so I can get out to 2 different areas, and I'll have a bunch of stuff banked that I can start doing stuff even if I don't have a ton of cards. Wow, look at that, move 6. Whew, that's a good one. That's also an infrastructure card. But I'm going to stay focused. Doing what I want to do. All right, well, someone else got to the adaptation cards first. So then I'm going to play this Explore 2, Build 3 as infra, and we'll replace this card. So now I've got, like, you can see, I've got like 4 Explore, 3 Build, 7 Move. I've got a lot of, like, it's going to give me a lot of options because I'm going to get a lot of bonuses from my infrastructure. And I also tend to focus on that a lot as I'm playing, and I'm not sure that's particularly good tactically in terms of how to play the game, but it's what I'm doing right now anyway. Those of you who maybe know this game better than me, you're looking at this and going like, oh my God, you're playing this really badly, drop comments. Let me know what I'm doing that's so bad. Okay. So now I still have too many cards to do research, which is good. It's going to force me to do something else. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got 2 time cards. That's actually really interesting. So let's think about what we want to do. I'm going to move both my ships somewhere. And let's take a look at how many points I'm going to need in order to move them someplace. So I would need like 6 to get them out there. There's a really interesting thing here that already exists that we could just go land on. That's on Jupiter. And then Saturn, has that base +2, but I would get genetics one. I mean, that actually may have been awarded when it was discovered, though. Oh, and there's already a ship there, so I probably don't want to do it. And then I would need 11 to get out to Uranus. So let's undo that. I want to look at the targets. Bases on 4 sites containing water or life. That would be really hard. Getting 4 bases would be really hard. 3 bases in 1 region. 3 bases in 3 regions beyond Jupiter. 2 bases beyond Uranus. So that would be bases here. Bases beyond Jupiter. So the one that seems possible to me is 3 bases in 1 region. I could hypothetically get here and maybe get 3 in 1 region in this Jupiter region. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, instead of playing here, I'm going to play it here to take 2 actions. So I'm going to do a move 7. I think that gets me, yeah. So my first ship is going to move to Callisto. And my second ship is going to move to Io or We're going to move to Ganymede. I've got enough Explorer that I can explore it for free. So we're going to just move to Ganymede. I mean, what I mean by for free is I've got enough infrastructure cards to just pay for that. All right, so leaning heavily on my infrastructure to get cards, to get my sort of ships out there, and sort of makes me less dependent on cards because I've got so much infrastructure at this point. So we're getting some I didn't notice that he had a guy there, and he just built a base on a place that I just landed, and also made sure that I won't be able to get that. I won't be able to get that bonus. Probably. That's a shame. Oh, wow. Move 16. Well, that is super unfortunate. Let's see, where can I get to with moves at this point? I need to get this guy to a new location. I'm going to need to get him to a new location because there's already a build there and there isn't anything available there. Don't think it's going to be hard to get any of those things. Well, let's see. I would have to play this card to move him. And then I could get him out to like these Shakespearean, you got Titania, Oberon, Ariel, and Umbri. Somebody didn't name something after a Shakespearean character for some reason. Okay. So I think let's get that guy out to Titania. But I think if I do that, I'm going to have to give him a card. And I really don't like the idea, but I'm going to have to do it at some point anyway. So he got a card. I guess he got one from, maybe he got one from, oh, he took that card from me. Oh, no, that's the card I played. He must have got one from over here. I'm going to live with that. I'm going to live with that. So I'm going to keep an eye out for good cards here that I can grab. Just got to keep my eye out. But I think the other thing I want to do before I do anything else is I want to look at like progress cards and see if there's anything really attractive, because I'm 1 away from progress, and I do have some genetics cards, so I could play those and get one of these progress cards. So move 5, somebody's already taken it, but I'm not sure that I might be able to take that again. That would have been a good thing. I should have played that before I did that move. Because then I wouldn't have had to pay that cost. Build actions gain 3. That's not too bad. That's kind of cool too. You can draw more tiles. For some reason these are not. Oh, that's yeah, okay. So I think I'm going to play this to get genetics 1, which is then going to allow me to take a card. And I think I might take this build 3 because it kind of acts as like an infrastructure card. And I like infrastructure. So we're going to do that. So we've got 1 progress card. We could hypothetically, if we get some genetic stuff to come up here and we draw those, we could potentially get one of the bonuses. Okay, somebody else grabbed one as well. Since I'm going to be trying to build 2 bases, it's probably good to have that that build, sort of extra build stuff. Okay, he just grabbed a whole bunch of cards. So let's see what populates here. And the card deck is getting low. It's only got 15 left, so I may stock up on cards here just to make sure that I am able to keep pace. So that would cause them to lose. Boy, he is way ahead right now. That is rough. So I could play this card and pull all of these. But the thing is, these cards, I mean, it'd be good to get maybe one of those, but not both of them, I don't think. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to grab that because move 8. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And then I think I'm going to grab that because it gives me options. Genetics 1. I mean, the other one that I might have considered pulling is this one, which could have given me a revelation point. But I think I'm gonna see maybe if I can get lucky and get that bonus for 2 progress cards. It would take 3 genetics in order to get it. But I could if I pull the right thing, the right discovery tile. So I need to probably think about exploring next. So just real quickly, so I could play. This is going to come up a bunch. I could play this to any of these cards with these microbes. I think it was microbes. Yeah, it was microbes. I could cause people with bases on those to lose 1T. So I could have yellow would lose 2T. That's Warwick. And green would lose 1T. That's Esperon. So that's some value, but I'm not going to do it this round. So I'm just going to skip it. I'm just not going to ask me again until it comes around again. Or maybe it'll ask me now because it's the start of a new round. But I'm gonna just skip it for now. I might do it later in the turn, but we'll see. The other thing I'd like to maybe think about is trying to get to these beyond spaces. But right now I got to focus on exploring and getting some bases built. If I don't do that, I think, shame on me. I'm just like, I'm not making anything. He just went to Pluto. He didn't go all the way out there. It's so tempting to draw cards. And it's even more tempting right now because there's only 5 cards left. But I think there probably will be some cards left my next turn when it comes around. So I'm going to explore. So where is my ship? I have a blue ship. Oh, Titania. E2. Or I could do, where's my other ship? The Ganymede. So let's do Ganymede. Oh. That was not what I needed. Well, so I lost 2T, but I gained one. The good news is that a base is going to be really cheap here, and that has P2, which is going to allow me to produce pretty nicely there. But it really wasn't. It wasn't something that I really want. I didn't losing the 2T was not a good thing at all. Definitely not a good thing. All right. So they continue. He's exploring out here on Pluto. After this turn, we'll take a look at where they are. I mean, I can see purple and orange are kind of out here at Pluto. See, I may research this time because I could grab this genetics card and I could grab this time card. The time card would be useful because then I could have two ships do two things. I would give me two of them. I can't do research this turn because I can't do it this turn because I have too many cards. So hopefully it'll be available next turn. So I could just do build 3, which will allow me to build on Ganymede. Or I could explore on Titania. Thing is, if I can get this a time card, then I could use the build action to do it twice and get both of them done at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and get this exploration on Titania done. So, okay, my bases are going to be really cheap. And that's interesting. Bases on 4 sites containing water or life. 4 sites, and there's no way I'm going to get 4 bases. I don't think there's any way I'm going to get 4 bases. We'll look at it, though. Okay, so they are, yeah, they're out here. Okay, I'm not going to play that card this turn. I'm going to hold on to that. He took 2. Okay, there's another time card down there. So after the draw deck has been empty, you can't use players' infrastructure or bases because you draw a card when that happens. So now it's not possible. So if it comes around to me, I'm definitely going to. Well, so the thing I have to worry about is that Esperon runs out of cards before. Yeah, he probably wants the turn to end. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, so need 5 to build there. I've got 6. I need 3 to build there. So I'm going to play this for 2 actions. And I'm going to build. So we're going to build a base here on Titania. And I think I'm going to build a shield base, a shield factory out here on Titania. So that will allow me to move there without having to worry about radiation. And then with my next team, I'm also going to build here on Ganymede. And I think what I'm going to build is research. Because then I can take 1 card from the offers and I can take that card. Refinery would increase the P value by 1. That would give it like a P3, which would be pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use that to grab this time card. Actually, I'm going to undo that. Sorry. The reason is rather than grabbing that time card, I think I might want to grab that genetics card. Because wait a second, let me see where I am. Yeah, because then I could actually get around and I could get that contract for. Sorry, I'm gonna have to redo that. So we're gonna do build action, and we'll put a shield factory here. Move to the next team. We'll put a research factory here, and we're going to grab this card so that we can hopefully play it for genetics. I'm just going to skip that action because my plan is to use that card for its genetics value. And then there's a contract for 2 progress cards, and if I can get it all the way around again, then I would be able to get that contract. Okay. So let us see how far we can move here. We got move 15. which would not let that guy get very far at all, unfortunately. He can't really get anywhere. Can this guy get any? Oh, undo. This is one challenge with the game is when you're trying to like grab your other guy, sometimes it's very hard to click on them and you end up clicking like because this guy can move there. There's no good way to switch that I've found to switch sort of ships that you're selecting. Maybe I can do it if I do it ahead of time because I'd like to see where this guy might be able to get to. Select that ship, please. I just want to grab this ship. You're not grabbing that ship for me. Ugh. I'm going to pause and try and make this happen. Okay, so I finally managed to grab my other ship. So he has the ability to move 15. Now he could get to these areas, which would possibly allow him, but I don't need to play that move 8 in order to do that. And he might actually, now I think he might undo all that. Move 7. So he could get back to Io, and we might be able to get a base down there before the game ends. Before the turn ends. Might not be able to. We'll take a chance and move him to Io for now. Then I'm going to really focus on this genetics action because I should probably think about producing now that I think about it because I've got limited amount of time left in order to produce. Sorry, I had to pause for a second because I had to sneeze. So missed some of what the computer did there on the video, but all right. Let's get these genetic actions played. Now here's a question. If I play 3 of these, will it move it 3? Yeah, okay, that's great. So I moved it 3. So now I get to choose another one. And that will then, I'm going to take this because radiation is a bigger and bigger problem as you continue. So I don't have to worry about radiation after I take this adaptation. And I got this big tech contract and got 5T, which is excellent. So the question is whether or not I will have time before the game ends to explore and build in Io. But what I'm going to focus on now is producing before I even try that. I'm going to use every card I have available to produce, just in case. I've only got 1 card to produce, so we're going to produce. And so I get to choose which base I want to produce at. Both of them are producing 2T. So we'll do that to get 2T just to kind of close the gap there a little bit on Esperon. All right, so I should be able to build here. And one of the questions would be whether I could get, let's explore and see what we've got here. Maybe it'll give me something. It gave me 1T, and a base is going to be really cheap. Okay. So I think I now have 3 bases on sites with life. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do this though. So I don't think I'm going to have a chance to like go to a new place and build another base. So I have a base here and that has water. I have a base here and that has water. So the question is, if there was another place with water and I could build there, I could get this 4 sites with water or life. I have 2 now, but I would need to be able to build 2 of them. So building a base on Ganymede doesn't do a ton for me, I don't think. Let me look at the base types here just real quick. I'm wondering about this. I could gain 1 T for each opponent base. So let's see. I would get 2 T for that. That wouldn't actually be that bad. It's probably worth it. That's as good as a that is every bit as good as doing a produce action. So we're going to build here. We'll build a secure base. So we'll get 2 T from that. Thought I would get 2 T from that. Okay. Oh, maybe that wasn't the first secure base in the area. Ah. No, it was the first secure base in the area. Huh. Wonder why I didn't get that 2T. That's odd. Seems like I should have gotten 2T for those 2 bases. Maybe it'll give it to me later. All right. So my last thing that I can do is if I can move somewhere and explore. I mean, if I could move somewhere and build, actually, might be even better. Where can you put secure bases, I wonder? Could I put secure base here? Gotta move 15. I don't need to play that to get there. I could get here. One second. I was just looking at like the prerequisites for building a secure base. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go like here and try and build a secure base and hopefully get 3T for building there. I don't need to play my move 8. There's actually no reason to do that because it doesn't cost that much. And I might as well send it here because it'll cost less to build on Rhea. Not that that's really a big concern right now. And then we'll end the turn. So I will get one more turn, which is good because it's possible. Oh, I thought it was. Sorry, I must have missed the message where it said it was going to end. Maybe that happened while I was sneezing. All right. Well, so let's see. So Warwick is having a horrible time here. Somewhere he got -11. He must have gotten really unlucky. Haydn is got 10. Esperon's got 18, largely driven by his discoveries, which is pretty impressive, although Haydn is as well. I'm at -12. I would have been doing much better without the -5s that I got for various things, but not too bad. I'm hanging in there at this point. So I am going to pause this here and we'll switch and we'll do the next era in a new video. So hopefully you're enjoying this. Like I said, this is available on Steam as a digital game. It's available as a board game from GMT Games. Really a lot of fun. If you're enjoying it, it'd be great if you could leave a like, leave comments. If you know how to play this game, definitely tell me not what rules I'm getting wrong since the computer is enforcing them, but what tactically or strategically I'm doing wrong here. But if you're enjoying the channel, obviously subscribing, hitting the notification bell, really helpful. And we'll see you next time for the conclusion of this game of SpaceCorp on Agility Snips Gaming Table.